In tonight's video, we're going to actually be looking at what is apparently some authentic footage of a 1968 UFO crash in Russia. Could this footage that we're about to see and look at tonight actually be authentic, and why has it been covered up for over 50 years? So let's take a close look at this video clip tonight and then take a quick observation of this and also see what some of the experts said about this footage. Alright guys, welcome back. So today we're going to be taking a trip back to 1968, and I believe that a lot of the photos and videos we got from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and even 70s and possibly 80s were a little bit harder to fake than what we kind of have today with the CGI and drone stuff. So what you're looking at here is some actual photos from the 60s, 70s, and 80s and stuff, or mostly the 60s and 70s. But today we're going to be going back to 1968 in Severodvinsk, Russia. I believe that's how that's pronounced. I tried to look it up and I've gotten several different translations for this. But apparently in 1968, there was a UFO that actually crashed and it was embedded into the ground. So I'll be leaving links below in the description so you guys can check out a couple forums that have talked about this. And it's been debated over the years whether this is actually real or not. But here you guys are seeing actual photos from that actual crash. And you guys think if something like this would have been out, it would have been out in the news everywhere. But they're in Russia, and that could be close to their Roswell, kind of like we had back here in 1947. But looking at the craft and stuff and looking at the way this is constructed, it does have your typical saucer shape, but it does, in my opinion, look more or less more man-made than anything else. I know a lot of the UFO craft and stuff tend to be a little bit more smoother in their design, not so much of a kind of piece together, and I hate to say it like that, type of craft. And that's kind of what we're seeing here with this. And there's several things I'm actually looking at this when this thing actually crashed, and I'll show you the video footage. It's very short and it kind of cuts to several different scenes and stuff. But some of the things I noticed that there could possibly be, and I don't know, I looked at the video footage, it looks like it may be some kind of writing or something on there, or some kind of panels or something, which I say a lot of these UFOs that we know are extraterrestrial, interdimensional, don't have a lot of these like bolted on look pieces and stuff like that. And it's pretty interesting looking at some of this. And then the video footage I'm going to show to you is going to show these guys actually walking up. The army went up there, or their army went up there, and it shows a video clip of them actually coming to the actual craft and kind of walking around it, and some people looking at it, which makes this a little bit more authentic than I believe some of the other stuff we've seen before in the past. So I'm going to yap through this a little bit, but not too much. But here is the video right here. So you guys saw that those soldiers were actually riding up to it. There were some people already there. One thing I noticed, I would think there would be more trees down in the background if a UFO actually crashed like it did, which makes me think that this might have been something that was more made by us, or made by maybe someone on this earth, and not so much interdimensional. But that's just my speculation. We know over time the UFOs have kind of changed shape. They've gotten more, I guess, smoother in their design and stuff. But there you guys see it there. Pretty interesting. This footage was, I believe, originally in black and white, and then it was trying to be colored in and stuff, and it's been passed around several times. So that's what kind of makes it, some people kind of suspect of it, that it does have a little color to it. But I think they were getting color back in the late 60s, early 70s with this. So that's why I'm just like, yo, you can kind of throw that out the door as far as this being kind of colored. But you see them walk around. But the real interesting stuff is here. You guys see some trees that are somewhat down, but look at the way that thing is embedded into the ground. And when you see this close up, you would think it'd be a lot more, I guess, or dug more into the ground. But if this thing is actually defying gravity, or depends on the speed it actually crashed down, it might actually be embedded there. And there you see the soldiers there and coming in. And we've never had any, I guess, whistleblowers talk about this particular craft, but see, they're walking around, they're talking about it. Pretty interesting stuff. Now, this aired in the 1990s on a TV show, and the TV show, of course, was taken down, but there you see guys taking the tree and stuff down. There's going to be 1 or 2 points I'm going to focus in on this, which is pretty interesting when they show this particular craft up close. Don't know why it took two people to move that piece of ice or snow there, but. And this is where it gets pretty interesting with these guys actually walking around. You can actually see the size of, so it's not as big as I thought it would be, which make me think it's somewhat may have been unmanned. But apparently too, I heard a report that there was an alien being found here too. And with that, there's some information and video on that, but I was kind of just suspect on that. But looking at this up close, this is what I'm talking about here. Trying to see this, I wish they actually had video footage of the back side of the craft, because from here you get an actual sense of the actual size of it. It's really not that large at all. I have heard people say that they saw craft that were the size of a tractor trailer, some were the size of the car, and some that were a little bit bigger. So this looks to be the size of kind of a SUV or something, but it does still seem to be flat, and it does seem to be like nothing, I guess, alive like could actually fit in there. So this could actually be some kind of probe or something, or maybe even a drone of some sort too. So pretty interesting video footage here. I don't know what to make about this. I would say this would be closer to be more real than anything else, even if it's something that we made or even the Russians made and it actually crash landed over there and someone just happened to get some footage of it and it actually happened to get leaked. Kind of same with the Skinny Bob video footage as well. I still think that's pretty authentic. Some people say no, but I think it actually is. So go and behold, here is the footage for this. So put down in the comments what you think about it. I did go ahead and kind of darken these images up so you can see it a little bit better. So when you darken it up, you can actually see more of the craft there, which is actually interesting. You can see a lot more of the design of the craft, where a lot of the UFOs, we don't actually see a lot of design to it. And if it got embedded in the ground like that, how did they actually dig this out and what did they actually find for it? So put down in the comments what you guys think about this. I think this is a pretty interesting video and some very, very interesting footage for it. But I at least wanted to show this to you guys. So I think now that I look more at this, I'm kind of leaning more towards this could be something, maybe not extraterrestrial, but maybe something that was man-made or something made here on Earth. And remember, there was a lady on Joe Rogan that did talk about the Roswell crash possibly being something that the Russians sent over to the United States to kind of replicate the War of the Worlds scare. So this could be something that they actually created. I'm leaving it kind of open at that because it could be, but it's just very interesting, guys. I don't know what to say about this, but put your comments down below about this, and I'll leave a link to that Joe Rogan interview so you guys can see that as well, because it's pretty interesting in what she said. So as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this with your friends, stay tuned for the next video. As always, I appreciate you guys watching.